All right, guys. Hello. As always, welcome back to Ultra Killing Real Estate. Thank you to everybody for support. People been liking the video, subscribing to the channel, much appreciated. To get into this video, to tell the truth or to not. So I actually posted this matter on my my Facebook feed earlier today. So I have a tenant, or I had a tenant who I got rid of earlier this year, and to be quite honest, like, she was a nuisance. Like, I have plans to make a video about this tenant. I may omit a few details here and there, but I have a plan to make a video about this tenant a little bit later on, and some videos about my other, tenants I've dealt with between Catholic Charities and Section 8. And like, when it comes to telling the truth, because now this tenant, the agency that she moved to for her new Section 8, they're contacting me about, was she a good tenant, all this, different forms to fill out about her while she lived with me. And honestly, she was a mess, all the way around. She might be the worst tenant I've ever had, top 2 at least, give or take, and the thing about it is, she's not my building anymore, so, I don't even have anything to gain by, quote unquote, telling, a little white lies here and there to get her out the building because she's already gone, but the main thing is that, you don't want karma to come back on you, because if you're a landlord out there, an investor, whatever, and you've dealt with bad tenants, you wouldn't really want to wish that on your worst enemy. It's annoying, it's a nuisance, it's just something that you don't really want to deal with at all. It literally, it's things that makes being a landlord hard. When you deal with people who are bad tenants, because 9 times out of 10, they're also causing trouble in the apartment building too, if they live in the building, or even if they're in a house, they could be causing havoc, this, outside the neighborhood, so, little white lies is one thing, but, honestly, just in my personal situation with this person, I will feel bad, lying to the next landlord or even to the next agency to take her in and say, oh yeah, she was pretty good, wasn't that bad, that's being nice, or really that's lying at best. It's being super untruthful, and I wouldn't want karma to come back on me, about me lying for this person. Then next thing I know, I get a tenant 2-3 years later who could be worse than she was in the first place. So so at the end of the day, you're dealing with adults, and adults have consequences to pay, and people have to be held responsible for the way they act, different than me, you, or anybody else. And so I think if you do have a tenant, in a situation like this where they move out, or or even if they are still in, it's one thing to tell a little small thing to get them out, but once they're out and you got people contacting you about that tenant to see if they're worth dealing with, you won't be truthful, because the last thing you want is to get somebody in there into your apartment, and the person that you got a recommendation from about that tenant, says they were great when they really were horrible, because this is June, and really I'm still fixing stuff in the unit that tenant broke up back in, before March. It creates way too many problems, so you want to be truthful with people, because 9 times out of 10, you don't want anybody to lie to you about something, about whether this tenant was good or stuff like that. So be truthful. That's my plan. I know some people are kind of oh, you don't want to have somebody be homeless, but hey, at least in this personal situation, this tenant, she knew what was going on. She knew all the issues that she had. This is nothing unfortunate circumstances. I'll put it to you this way, just to sum it up short. She got kicked out of Section 8, for Cook County. And I don't know how many of you guys are landlords out there already, but you know how hard it is to get kicked out of a Section 8 program? That's, you have to try to do that. And so it is what it is. I'm gonna be truthful. I recommend other people to be truthful as well. So it is what it is for her. All right, so I have more videos coming up soon. Thank you again. If you're watching on YouTube, make sure to find me on Instagram. That's at UltraKellon, UltraKellon. And then if you're watching on Instagram, make sure you find me on YouTube at UltraKellon Real Estate. All right, guys, till next time.